Why are you sitting there with your hand on your temple?
I'm sitting here because you know exactly why. We just had a whole conversation about what's going on in my life right now. Okay, this is also another thing that Bob does, y'all. Bob, literally before the camera started rolling, Bob and I had a whole conversation about why I may be a little stressed out and a little uneasy in this moment, and he's using it as fuel to rile me up on the podcast already. But go off.
What, Monet? It sounds like you're accusing me of antagonizing you. Do you think I'm an antagonistic person?
Girl, you are the protagonist of my antagonist in my life.
I was going through TikTok today, and I think to myself, I don't think people know the difference between the words systemic and systematic. And that's been bothering me lately. It's been like driving me crazy. But honestly, I also don't want to sound like some grammar elitist. So, but also, typically speaking, like I know what they're saying, but I want to be like, I think in this term you meant systemic. And not
automatic,
systematic.
supersonic, hypnotic, funky, fresh.
Are there any words that people mix up that really just annoys the shit out of you?
No, I'm not a grammar police officer like that. I mean, I see them, but it doesn't bother me. Like when people mess up they, there, and there, they, there, and
You mean there and there? Like there
no,
and...
they, there.
I think you're doing it right now.
Just trying to say them.
Yeah,
they're
like they are,
so
and they're like belongs to them.
they are. Right.
And then they're like the space, like over there. They're all pronounced same. They're all pronounced same way. There, and there.
No, you just pronounce it differently. There, and there.
Like
two of them sound alike.
Like
there does not.
Like if you're saying they are tall, you say they're tall, and if you say they're ball, you say they're tall. That is their ball, and they're over there.
There is a different one.
You say they're over there with their ball. They're over there with their ball.
They're over there with their ball. Yeah, there and there. Those sound alike. There is not. There is over here. The other two over here hanging out. There is over here hanging out by herself. Not two in the pink one
that stink. Not two in the goo one in the poo. Not the shocker. But it, like when I was younger, it used to really drive me crazy because there's a version of the game called Exhibition. And
I've never even. Is that a basketball game?
Exhibition is the version usually where it's not connected to the storyline, so you can just play the game without. So there's like the story version, and then there's the exhibition mode.
Oh, you mean like a mode in a game?
Yeah, exhibition mode, which is.
I thought you meant like there's a game called Exhibition. I'm like,
no.
Are you just like exposing yourself for people?
No, exhibition mode of a game is usually where you play not connected to the storyline. And it would drive me crazy. My friends would say expedition. And I'd be like, are you reading the screen? It doesn't say expedition. It says exhibition.
Wow. This is mighty ableist of you, Bob. Bob, maybe your friends were a little dyslexic and they weren't and they went undiagnosed.
You know,
maybe there are other factors, not you. Yeah, that doesn't make it okay for you to judge your friends. That's like white people being like, "You're a racist," and they're like, "Well, no, I have that black guy Bob's my friend."
No, I'm just adding as a point of context. That's reminded me. My mom is dyslexic. She didn't know until she was 35, and she thought she was 53.
Oh, wow.
She thought she was 53. I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But my mom is dyslexic though. She actually is dyslexic.
I don't know if I believe you. I don't believe you.
My mom really is dyslexic, and she thought for a long time that she just couldn't read. And when I was younger, I thought that I was just bad at colors. Like when we would, like in elementary school, when everyone would sit down and do like shapes, numbers, and then the next week we'd do colors, I was like, I'm just not good at colors. I'm just bad at colors. I didn't realize that I just see colors different than most people.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. Like I just thought that I was like, slim.
Oh my God, you are trying. So you are really trying to watching you do the mental gymnastics to come up with a joke in real time. I'm sweating, bitch. I feel like I worked out. I'm not going to the gym today.
I'm stressed out, Bob. You know I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out right now. I've been traveling all day. I haven't eaten all day. I'm stressed out.
Why have you not eaten? I've been guilty of that too, and I'm really trying. Ever since I started doing this little meal, I'm not gonna say the name of it until they pay us. I'm not saying their name anymore, but it is a great meal plan. And ever since I started doing this, bitch, I've been eating. I have never eaten this regularly. I have never eaten this healthy. I've never I'm excited to eat each time. It is it takes having your food like done already takes so much fucking stress off your. And it's also I've also never saved this much money on food ever.
Do you know what this is why a lot of time for these like big actors like who change their bodies so much for roles, like the guy that played Bane, I always forget his name. What's his name?
I don't know that nigga name.
Tom Hardy.
He changes
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy he changes his body a lot for his roles. Like, he always his body through it. Chris Hemsworth really bucks up for Thor and stuff like that, and they lose. Like, you see these actors transform for these roles, and you're like, how did they do it? But bitch, when you have money and when you have a studio paying for you to lose all this weight or gain all this weight, bitch, they give you everything. You probably have a chef cooking every single meal for you. Like, it's just like, and when you have someone preparing your meals for you, it is just so much, like, it's like you get up out of bed, you walk to the kitchen, and you know,
and then
it's
work
just
out
so
and
much
stuff
easier.
too. And I would say I've never changed my body for a role, but during quarantine I did change my body into roles.
Do you see? Could you like? What if you got What if you got a role? What if you got offered a role and they needed you to gain like 60 pounds? Would you do it?
Fat or muscle? It would take me years to get. I was like muscle that would take forever. Honestly, if they promised to help me lose the weight, then I would do it. But I would need help losing that weight because let's just say during my quarantine, I gained 40 pounds. So I could do another 20. I mean,
likewise. What is
Drag
the role?
Race? Since Drag Race, I gained like 55 pounds. Since I was on Drag Race to my biggest at quarantine.
Wow, you on Drag Race 5 years ago.
Yeah, but also bear in mind, 40 of those pounds were all in like 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also when watching some of these interviews of these celebrities, when they do it, they like gain weight in a healthy way, which there is a healthy way to gain weight. So it's not just like just going home and eating donuts and fucking bonbons in your bed while you're sleeping, but it's like eating like food so that at the end you can lose it easily, as opposed to you struggle busting it.
Who gives a fuck about health? Give me that Oscar, nigga. Give me that Oscar. I will. My Oscar can hold my roles, bitch. I'm just kidding. There was actually a big thing where Marissa Jarrett Winokur, who played Tracy Turnblad. Don't act like you know Broadway, you opera bitch. You're not a theater kid. You're an opera bitch. You snooty opera bitch. Oh my God, I listened
to our last podcast. You were so aggressive. And in the moment, in recording the podcast, I didn't realize that you were aggressive.
Aggressive about what? No, what did I say?
The one about tattoos? They have moments you got very aggressive with me.
What did I say?
Like when I was describing my tattoos, I was like, this one. You're like, bitch, Monet, say the fuck.
Because that was annoying. You were annoying me. Like, we are on a audio medium. Most of our listeners don't see our videos. Monet was like, well, this one and then that one. I was like, Monet, this is, and I think it was only like the third time I was like, Monet, you have not said what the tattoo is. You just keep saying, anyway. But anyway, Marissa J. Winokur, she plays Tracy Turnblad, who is a fat girl who is for integration in Baltimore in the 60s.
She's a checkerboard chick. Oh, that's Penny.
Anyway, what happens is, but she's doing 8 shows a week, and the role is like hard dancing. So the girls who play Tracy, they're cast because they're big, but then they just start losing weight because they're dancing hard as hell. I mean, literally doing 8 intense workouts every week. 8.
Yeah, do you know the choreo? You can't stop the
I don't know why I know that. That's so gay.
I want to see you do it. I want to see you. I feel like you could be a Corny Collins. You could, if they bring back Hairspray, you could be Black Corny Collins. I see it for you. Oh, bitch, they'll give you a fierce little.
The whole thing is that Corny Collins is white. Like, the whole role is centered around him being white.
I know. It's also 2021 where they're canceling Grease because Grease is sexist and there were no gay people, yada, yada, yada. So you know what? There may be a reality where maybe Corny Collins was one of them fake-ass niggas that was hanging out with all the white people and swore he was white. So maybe that'll be you.
I mean, there are shows where, like Fiddle on the Roof, where everyone's Jewish, but they're not saying they're white. They're just saying they're Jewish. And in Hairspray, he's like, I'm white. That's a big part of my role, being white. But I do actually love that role because it's not huge, and his singing isn't crazy. He's not like singing in the rafters. He's just kind of
he sings. I forget he
but
sings.
I can sing Courtney Collins' role. Yeah. Yeah, honey. With the latest, greatest Baltimore sound, honey.
Do it right now.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, do it right now.
Do
it right now,
I don't
Bob.
prove anything to you two. Let's get that clear. First of all, who needs to read and write when you can dance and sing? You know what I mean? Nice to Get in Town is one of the best songs in that fucking show. Hairspray is just anyway. Long story short, she was losing a lot of weight, and they started putting the some of the Tracy's had to wear fat suits or padding.
Really?
Because they were just getting so skinny.
Work. Yeah, I mean it's intense. Like you said, it's a big dancing show, and to do it 8 shows a week. Sometimes days when you have a matinee, you're doing like 2 intense workouts in a day. So yeah,
I would love to gain weight for a role. Like that would be but muscle. I would love to have a role there. Like you got to get really muscly.
Oh, muscle. Yeah.
Because then I could like dedicate my time, and I would have a trainer, which I could get a trainer now. I can't afford to get a chef.
But it's different
right now.
when you have multi-million-dollar Marvel trainer. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's probably some trainers who aren't multi-million-dollar Marvel trainers who can help, but I think what it is being able to dedicate your time. Like I can dedicate I can like free my schedule just to work out for this role. In my current schedule, I do not have 5 days a week to work out for an hour. I mean, maybe I do, but that's the thing. I went to the gym yesterday, actually, which was a little bit stressful. I was kind of like reluctant to do it because like what drives me crazy about going to the gym is like going to and from the gym is an hour minimum. Just traveling to and from the gym. That's just getting to and from the gym. About an hour.
Are you saying in LA or all your gym
in New York, it was an hour and a half.
That's not true. See, you and Patty both do, and Patty and I had a whole thing about this too. He wants to. You don't have to dare. Bob, there was a gym 2 blocks away from your home. I go to that gym. I have 4 memberships. I have 1 Planet Fitness, 1 New York Sports Club. I have a membership with my trainer downtown, and then I have 3 because I stopped my 24-hour fitness one.
Planet Fitness is like $40. Wish I won.
Planet Fitness is like $40. Also, Bob, you fully have an hour a day to go to the gym.
But it's an hour just to go to the gym. Like, here's the thing. So I used to live near a Planet Fitness. If I walked to the Planet Fitness, it was, and if I am ass to grass running, pedal to the metal, I can get there in 5 minutes. If I'm walking, it's like 10 minutes, like a 10-minute walk to the.
Okay, yeah.
So 10, so now I'm at 20 minutes. I have now taken 20 minutes out of my day, not to mention getting dressed, going there, showering after I come back home from the gym, and then I'm doing an hour and 10 minutes at the gym. So all of that added up is about 2 hours of my day. Now, bear in mind, I don't have 24 hours a day. I'm awake for like 14 of those hours. I'm working for hours, so now I've taken 2 hours, so I only have 10 hours. Now I have 10 hours to do all the other stuff I was going to do that day. Whereas that's why you notice when I was working out every day, I was doing it from home. It is so easy to just turn on your YouTube video and just doing a workout that is there in front of your eyes. That I've always found was a lot easier.
Bob, so Jacob has pulled up the Planet Fitness from Bob's old address of the Planet Fitness, and it says a 6-minute walk. So,
okay, I said running 4 minutes, walking like this is like walking. I'm just like walking I'm walking at a leisurely pace. I don't want to run to the gym. Now back when I was
you're not running, that's walking. Google is not calculating it like you're the fucking bionic woman.
You know what Google's not accounting for? The old men who all sit on the corner and play music and have to walk around them. It's not accounting for the shit I have to walk around. It's not counting for the people who used to block that grocery store over on the corner. It's not counting for the fact that I stopped by Dunkin' Donuts and got a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant on the way there. It's not counting for the fact that I had to go, that I never had protein powder, so I had to stop at GNC and buy a protein shake every time. So yeah, Google didn't account for all that, did she?
Let's take a little break because I want to drop some knowledge on this fucking raggedy yellow bitch.
Oh, okay. Queen of Fitness is gonna drop some knowledge, y'all. Here we go. Miss Gold's Gym herself. All right, we are back. Okay. I am here with Miss New York Sports Club 2020, Monet Exchange.
Okay, I want to say this. First of all, I have known Bob obviously, for a very long time. When Bob really wants to do something, he would do something. If Bob wanted to go to the gym, Bob would do it. But I have been in Bob's company and his pleasure at his home where Bob has been playing Fortnite for like 4 hours. So in those 4 hours, you could have squeezed in 2 hours to go.
But I have other things that I want to do. For example, when I was working out, I could play Fortnite, but I would just literally just go to YouTube, type in chest workout with no weights, and just do that. It's just easier than going to the gym.
I'm saying, in the time of the 4 hours of Fortnite,
but you also know that
when
I was working out, I was playing Fortnite and I was working out on YouTube. But I'm not saying working, it's going to the gym. Like getting up from where I am, leaving where I am, going somewhere else, doing something there for like an hour and 10 minutes, and then getting back to where I am. It's not as easy as just typing in professional workout for cardio.
Of course. Staying at home and just typing it in your thing. Of course, that's easy. But I'm saying you had the time to do the other one too.
But I think that working out from home, it can be just as effective as going to the gym, depending on what your goals are. Depending on what your goals are and what you have at home. And I also used to go to the gym at a high volume hour, and there was just not the weights
I hate that.
But I don't want to go to the gym at midnight. I don't want to go to the gym at 8 o'clock at night. I want to go to the gym at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because that's when I feel like going to the gym.
Well, you know what? When I had my car, you know this. When I had my car in the city, I used to drive to my car was my like fucking like my like life partner. I used to take my car everywhere. I used to drive everywhere, I used to drive. No, I didn't name my second car. My first one, I forgot what the first one was called too. I didn't name my second one though. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not naming my car.
I named my first car. Her name was.
What was your first car's name?
Papa Smurf.
Was it blue?
It was blue. It was tiny and it was very old.
What was the make and model and the year?
It was an '89 Nissan Sentra. And let's just say I wasn't driving it in the '80s or the '90s. I was driving it in the 2000s. It was a very old car.
First of all, Sentras are small now. So if 1989 Sentra, bitch, it's probably no bigger than this iPhone.
My car, if that car exists today, that car is older than you. Literally older than you. '89 Nissan Sentra.
It sure is.
It was an old ass car. And it broke down.
My first car. It broke down. You left it on the highway. You one of those girls.
Well, I didn't have AAA. I had so. Do you remember back then they were like minimum coverage insurance, where it's like literally. The big thing was like getting minimum coverage, meaning like as cheap as your insurance can. Like, what is the least you can legally drive around with? And that was what I could afford. That's what I got. And it did not include towing. So I was like, I don't even know how to get this piece of junk back to my home. I am in Alabama. I just called my friend. I was like, can you please come pick me up? I'm broken down on the side of the street. I just took my license plate off, scratched out the VIN number, emptied the trunk, and then never saw that car again. It is in some junkyard in Alabama.
Oh my God, that is a mess. My first car was a 1996 green Nissan Maxima. It had a beige leather interior, and it was a mess. It was the first car I ever got. My grandmother helped me get that car, and it was when I was going to West. I didn't have my freshman year. I had it my sophomore year of college, and I remember going to Brooklyn and going to this like random car dealership, like on the corner of probably like Flatbush and somewhere. I got this car, and it was like, and I think the car cost $1,200. Do you remember how much your Sentra cost?
Well, I just kind of lied to you. So that was my second car, which they were both. One was an 8. One was an 8.
What is the truth?
Well, here it is.
Your mom doesn't have dementia. Your car was not this first car.
Dementia,
what is the truth?
It's dyslexia. First
of all, dyslexia. Sorry.
And you're right. My mother does not have dementia. I would like to throw that out in the air. So my grandmother got me an '89 Nissan Sentra as a graduation gift. That's kind of a sad story attached to this. I'll tell you the story. But the car that I left on the road was also a Nissan Sentra. I had 2 Nissan Sentras in a row, and one was an '88. I left the '88 on the side of the road, and the '89 got stolen from me. My dad stole my car when I was in college.
We talked about this on the parenting episode. It is literally so. Every time you tell me the story, I want to fight you.
Yeah, so my grandma gave me the car. My father stole the car. If you guys want to hear the episode, how my dad, I'm not going to go into it again, but if you want to hear about how my father stole my car, please go listen to the other one about parenting. And
which is so crazy because I have a story about how Bob stole my car in the West Village a few years ago.
You become your father, and I was so afraid of being my father, and now look at me. That was funny. That was funny, Monet.
That was not a funny story.
To be honest, it is funny.
To you, it was not funny to me or my car.
Yeah. I think it was. I'm not gonna lie. I think it was funny. I'm not.
Let me
gonna
tell the story.
Okay.
So this is when I was working full time, and it was one
Were
of
you
Bob's
really
off
mad,
days.
or you weren't a little? You weren't a little tickled.
No, I was not tickled. I was, and this is when Bob was one of Bob's off days, one of the rare off days Bob had, and Bob was like, "Monet, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come. Meet you at Pieces, I'm gonna meet you at Pieces because." It was Pieces. I was like, okay, what's the bars working at? So I got off at 3 p.m. and then I had my gig is at 7. So I had my car. I would drive down to the West Village and I look for parking. And then I would take all my makeup, all my drag and paint in the basement of the bar. So then Bob was there and I pulled up to the bar and Bob was there. So then Bob got in the car or something. I got out.
Monet pulled up and was like, I'm just gonna run into Pieces real quick. So Monet was like, I'm gonna
maybe to drop off my stuff probably. Yeah, that makes
and then
sense.
I was looking at the car, and Monet was blocking traffic, and I was like, let me get in the. You don't know my phone. I said, let me get in the car just in case it needs to move. Then when I got in, I was like, would it be kind of funny if I just drove down the street if Monet came back and the car wasn't here? So then I drove off, but as I was driving off, Monet was coming out, and then Monet is chasing me down the street. Now, granted, I went a block. I think I'm Monet is freaking out. I was like, Monet, all I did was just drive a block. Now, granted, okay, did I have a driver's license? No. What? Was I legally supposed to be driving? No. Had I driven a car in 8 years? No.
So in my mind, because also being a driver, when you are a New York City driver, it is a different thing. And if you drive in New York City, you can chime in on this in comments. Like in every other place, well, not every other place, in every other state in America, it is about being a defensive driver. In fact, you take courses about being a defensive driver. In New York, you need to be an offensive driver when you are driving. That means that when you see an opportunity, bitch, you go for it. You don't back up and wait. If you want to get to that lane, bitch, you put the pedal to the metal and you swerve and you maneuver and you get to where you want to go.
So
don't wait for anyone to help you out.
You admit it. You're offensive. I will say this one day. It is not up to me to decide whether or not taking your car was funny. It was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. I still think it was a little bit funny to me. The story is funny to me. But it is your car and you have the right to set the ground rules. And I never stole your car again. And when you caught me, I gave it back to you immediately. And I said sorry.
Also, y'all know Miss Bob. Bob is the queen of the rules and being like Monet, but that is not legal, Monet. And she was the queen of all that, especially in that time. She was real queen of the rules. She was all playing by the rules, and then she was ironically breaking the rules.
Well, I apologize. I gave your car back to you, and look at us. We're still great friends. And you know what? Maybe when you come to LA, you can steal my car. That be a
Jacob and I are already planning it.
I don't believe that. I don't even have a car yet. Okay. But I am planning on getting one. And
what kind of car are you gonna get?
I want to get a Tesla.
Ooh, flexing on my ex and my Model X. Are you getting a Model X?
I don't know that much about Teslas yet, but I'm probably not going to get a $100,000 Tesla. I'm probably going to get a much cheaper Tesla than that. But I'm also going to be leasing. I'm not buying. I have driven 2 cars. Technically I've driven more than 2 cars. I've driven Ezra's
3.
Prius. Oh my God. In LA. I drove Tesla's Prius. Ezra's Prius. I drove Kennedy's Subaru.
I drove Kennedy's Subaru when I came.
I drove a Dodge Charger and a Ford Expedition. A Ford Exhibition. And
whose Expedition was it?
Expedition. It was the Charger and the Expedition were both rentals. Because I went to the drive and drag show. But I don't have a car.
Oh, and right.
We were gonna take Kennedy's little Subaru, but I was like, me and Kennedy and Jacob and Cass. Kennedy and Cass are girlfriends. We were on a double date, and I was like, well, I want to have a big car that we can just really be comfortable in. So we went out and rented a big, huge car.
Okay. Let's talk about this. So in my life, so like I said, I had my 96 Maxima, and I had that for about 2-3 years, and then going to my end of my junior year, going into my senior year, it was the car was just not good. It was breaking down. I had to had 127,000 miles on it. It was
she was in high school?
No, it's in college.
I was gonna say not a Brooklyn kid in high school with a car.
No.
That must be
No,
nice.
so then,
must be nice.
so then I was like, you know what? I want to get like a newer car. So this is like, so then I hit up my grandma. I was like, Grandma, I want to get a car. And then my grandmother basically helped me to get the car that you saw me have. It was a 2009 Suzuki Grand Vitara. And then so when I got it, it was,
like a drag queen.
maybe like
That's like a drag queen. We're gonna say Suzuki Grand Vitara
from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And then so I had that car. Now it was a pretty new car. It was only 2 years old. It had like 17,000 miles on it. It was like a relatively new car. And I had that for a while. But I spent 7 years paying that car off. So, because I bought it, and it was $21,000, how much the car cost. And then after that, through drag and working in gigs and tips, I was able to pay the car off early. But I was like, I will never buy a car again. And then, but now looking at it, I want to, if I ever, when I move to Portland or LA, whatever it is, we're not going to have that conversation again. But I don't know if I want to lease or buy a car, because I don't want to buy a car again, spending years paying off a car. But leasing is so crazy, because if you lease a new car, you're paying like $500 a month, plus your insurance and plus all the other stuff. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Once you lease the car, I mean, okay, you still have leasing a car and buying a car are not that much different, except for when the lease is done. You have a car payment when you buy a car too. Most people put down a down payment and you make payments on the car, so it's like a mortgage. You know what I mean? So there are still car payments. Except when you lease them after like 2 years or whatever the amount is, you can just get a completely new car and it just all starts over. You never officially own the car at the end. You just
Which is so crazy.
You keep getting newer and newer cars, and also I think there's like a tax thing that works with leasing cars as well. And
really,
I mean, yeah, but I think Jacob, can you look that up? But also, like my roommate just got a brand new car. Like I came home and I was like, "Hey girl, what's up?" He was like, "I got a new car." Actually, Jacob was like, "Zach got a new car," and I was like, "What?" So Zach had a Prius that he had paid off, and then he took it in, and they gave him money. They like gave him money.
They don't give you that much money though.
Well, they gave him enough money. It was a good deal for him. He traded the car, and he got a brand new Prius with a pretty low payment. And I would say the new Prius was like, I was like, this is nice. This is nice.
I'm sorry, Priuses are, and no offense to Zach, I'm sure his Prius is nice.
Drag her.
when I see a Prius, I'm like, girl, not her. When an Uber picks you up in a Prius, it's like, girl, not her.
They're all every Uber in New York City is a Camry. Every Uber in LA is a Prius. I found that out.
Really?
Every Uber in New York City is a Toyota Camry. If you see Toyota Camrys are the new yellow cabs of New York City. And in New York City,
but in LA it's Priuses.
All Prius. There are Priuses everywhere in the city. Me and Ezra went to the gym the other day, and we parked in his Prius between two Priuses. It was 3 Priuses literally side by side. There are Priuses everywhere you look. Zach has a Prius. He had a Prius. They are everywhere here. They're also incredibly fuel efficient. And the newest Prius has this thing where like the first 25 miles are all electric. So if you keep filling up your car, it'll never tap into the gas.
But then why would you need to fill it up? Oh, you mean fill it up like plug it in?
Yeah. The first 25 miles are electric.
Got it. So essentially, if I fill my car up, take this $50, fill my car up, and I charge it fully, the first 25 miles, and I every day I'm driving to and from work, 20 miles. Every day when I get home, I plug it in. Essentially, I will never dip into the gas because I'll only be using the electricity.
If you keep plugging it in. Up to 25 miles. And in California, California, you do get money for leasing a car instead of owning it.
But here's the thing.
You also get money last thing, you also get a rebate for having an electric car. The city will pay, like the state, when you file your tax, they will just give you money for having an electric car. It has to be either electric or like a hybrid that's mostly electric.
Well, so with the electric things, where are electric things just everywhere? Can I just pull up on the corner of Santa Monica and fucking Sepulveda and just plug in my thing? Like, are they at gas stations? How long does it take? Like, do you know that stuff?
So when I used to live in Berkeley, there was a charging station at the Whole Foods. There was like these 3 or 4 spots that were just for charging your electric car at the Whole Foods. And there are also Tesla supercharge stations where you can go and charge your car as well. And it costs like $10 to charge your car. It does take 30 minutes to charge your car. So a lot of people will just like sit in their car and like watch a movie or something on Netflix. You do it like once a week, you go and charge your car.
Once a week? It lasts a week?
Well, it depends on how much you're driving. I think it's like 200 some odd miles. Jake, can you look at how many
Really?
miles a Tesla gets per gallon? I think it's like 200 some odd miles per tank or per charge.
And really quick, Jacob just pulled up the charging stations, and they look to be they seem to be a lot of charging stations in LA. But I think that's an LA thing. In New York City, maybe because I'm not looking for it, I don't see it. I cannot. LA, the county of Los Angeles or the city of Los Angeles has 2,823 charging stations. So I guess that's a lot.
Yeah, and everyone who has a Tesla
Jacob,
is like swears up and down.
Can you look that? Oh yeah, he's checking New York now. Also, can you look up how many gas stations? I'm interested. I'm curious to see what is the ratio of gas stations to charging stations, just to put it into.
Well, there's definitely way more gas stations. I mean,
I know. I just want the perspective of what that ratio is.
Do you know there are 3,747 charging stations in the Newark, New York, in the New Jersey, the Newark, New Jersey, New York area.
See that shit. Oh. I guess
bragging?
when you're not looking for it, I guess one of those things, if you're not looking for it, you just don't notice it, right?
Yeah, I mean, let me how many miles per charge on a Tesla?
Oh my God, electric. You remember as a kid, you were like, girl, this electric cars and flying cars shit will never happen. Well, bitch, electric cars are fully here. Maybe.
So if you get the 2021 Tesla Model S, you will get 387 to 520 miles per battery. So that is you can get up to 520 miles per charge. That is a lot of mileage. And you never have to pay for gas. And if you pay for like the Tesla service or there's like some extra Tesla whatever, you don't pay for charges either.
Oh my God! I have to say, Bob, I used to love having a car, but also I feel like this too. I feel like you're getting a car, but that's because we're home and stuff. When we're like traveling and on the road, what you gonna like? You're probably never gonna use your car.
I will use my car when I'm home. First of all, Jacob doesn't
But how
drive.
often will that be?
Jacob basically refuses to drive. Let's just say that. So I'm gonna be driving my black ass to the airport myself.
And you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that.
Why wouldn't I?
You're not going to do that.
Why would I not drive myself to the airport? I don't understand why I wouldn't do that.
Because just the same way when I had my car in New York, I was not driving myself to the airport. It's just inconvenient. But also when you're paying for airport parking, well, I don't know about LAX, but paying for parking in New York City, if you leave your car there, it's like between $35 and $45 a day. When we would leave, I'm gone and fucking going on tour for 30 days for a month. That's crazy.
Well, then maybe I need someone to drop me off. Jacob doesn't drive, so Jacob, you gonna drive me to the airport or not? Damn. What's good, Jacob? We're waiting for an answer, bro.
You got another boyfriend.
Oh my God. Jacob,
drag that bitch, Jacob. Jacob, let her know.
Jacob will not drive. He does not like driving. It gives him anxiety, which I get it. Work, go off. To be fair, driving is an anxious thing. You know, the other day I rented this car. We rented this car to go, and we were headed to go pick up Kennedy and
Jacob was like, I will not be driving Miss Lazy.
As we get in the car, we get on the highway, and then like I've had the car for 20 minutes. As I get on the highway, this like it was like a or a van or something like swerved in front of me, and then but really close, and then it slammed on its brakes. So then I slammed on my brakes, and the car behind slammed on their brakes too. And then I let up off the brake a little bit, but you know when the car's already accelerating, I had to like slam on my brakes again, and it was nerve-wracking. I was like, this is upsetting. I remember just being kind of like. And I also remember thinking to myself, like, this is one of those moments where I was like, there was nothing I could. It's not. I mean, obviously I did something. I didn't get hit. But no one got hit. No one's car touched anyone's car. But I remember thinking it really is factors that also just have nothing to do with you. That's probably the scariest part of driving. You can be the safest driver in the world. I'm not the safest. I'm probably overly safe. Everyone who drives me says I drive too slow. First of all, everyone's like, you drive a little slow.
Oh God, are you one of those? I can't.
I drive safely. Yes, I do drive safely. You have a problem with that?
Y'all know this old granny bitch probably the fucking speed limit is 45. But I was fully giving a 42. It's like, no, bitch, you can go at least 5 over. So if the speed limit is 45, you need to at least be going 55.
See, you're one of those folks. If the speed limit 45, you gotta be doing 70. If you take the road test, it will tell you you don't need to be matching traffic if traffic is going over the speed limit. That is literally
yes,
a law.
you do.
That's not Monet,
no, that is literally not true.
Monet,
Bob, hold on.
Let me finish my thought before you start trying to say things. I literally just took this little quiz exam because I was like, I got to take this driving test. So that I distinctively remember the question. I was like, do you match the traffic around you, or do you drive the speed limit? And I was like, well, obviously you match the traffic. I clicked. I don't know about what kind of bootleg driving y'all did in New Jersey, but in the state of California, you are supposed to drive the speed limit. The answer is always drive the speed limit. If everyone around you speeding, drive the speed limit.
Okay, that is yes. You are supposed to drive the speed limit. However, if you're not matching, so let's say you're on a 65 mile per hour highway, which is what normal highways are, and the speed limit is 65, and everyone is going at like 75, 70. If you're not following the speed of traffic, the police are going to pull you over because A, you look suspicious, and why are you driving so slow? Like that is a thing. That is like a thing. If everyone's
I just drove to and from Palm Springs, driving the speed limit the entire time, and drove.
Well, were people going super fast? Was everyone going faster than you, or was everyone? There were moments
where people were going faster than me. I wasn't necessarily the slowest person, but I was not driving above the speed limit. I was driving the speed limit, and if you are driving above the speed limit, a cop can pull you over and they can give you a ticket, and you can be like, but everyone else, that's not a defense. Let me tell you right now, that is not a defense.
And if you're driving too slow, the cops will pull you over. And as a black person, I don't want to put in any position.
But then speeding is the one that makes you not. If you're driving the speed limit,
speeding.
If you are driving faster than the speed limit, you are speeding. I don't know what you don't understand about that.
That is not true. There's like a 5 mile per hour window.
5. You just said 10. 5, Monet. You cannot do, and I have been in the car with you, and I know you do more than 10 because I've been in the car with you. I drove to New Jersey.
When was the last time you were in the car with me?
I don't know how drastically you've changed your driving skills since we drove to New Jersey to do the gig, but you were definitely doing more. So
you don't drive 5 years ago.
So you don't drive like that now. You've completely changed your whole driving style. You done flipped the script. You done flipped the script. You don't do that. That's the old you. You don't do that shit no more, huh? Shut your lying ass up. But you haven't even had a car for the past fucking 4 years. So act like your driving is awesome change. But you haven't even had a car. So you don't even know what the fuck your driving skill is these days. You don't know how you drive. You don't know what your technique is. I drive more than you do these days.
Do you guys remember what I talked about that aggressive nature that Bob exhibits in this podcast?
How about that? Aggress these nuts, nigga. Since we aggressing shit out here.
When someone said, also, you just sounded like New York Tiffany Pollard. Bitch, fuck you! You just sounded like Tiffany Pollard at that moment. That shit just was very funny.
But I will say, I was in the car with you and you were driving more than 10 miles an hour. So...
Well, and also Bob talks about back when season 8 happened, when you were in LA, whatever, you're driving with Naomi. Bob swears that Naomi Smalls is the most unsafe. She's the worst driver he's ever been.
Horrible. The
Why?
Worst. Okay, first of all, Naomi told me the other day that Naomi, before she was 21, I'm going to repeat that. Before she was 21, she totaled 4 cars.
4?
4.
That is crazy.
4 cars. Naomi is a bad driver. At one point, she was driving with her knees.
I was driving my knees.
Her long ass legs, and her knees were handling the steering wheel, so her hands were free. What was she doing with her hands, you ask? Texting on Instagram while driving 40 miles an hour. 40 miles an hour. Using her phone, driving with her fucking knees. She also is skittish. She is jumpy. She overcorrects. She's a bad driver. I love Naomi. She's horrible.
Would you say that I'm a good driver?
You're a good driver. Yeah, you're a good driver. How about when I saw your car? Was I good? When I saw your car, was I good?
I mean, you were swerving a little bit. You look a little drunk when you did it, but I mean, I don't know what you were doing before you came to the bar. I had a couple of shots at
pieces.
I don't know you were inside the piece. Oh yeah.
Should we ask if I'm a good driver? Do you want to ask Jacob? Jacob's here. Jacob can give his assessment on my driving. Also,
I'm
Jacob,
gonna say, I'm gonna ask the what?
Jacob, make sure your sound is in so I can use the sound, Jacob.
Jacob, is Bob a good driver?
Motherfucker, spit it out.
You do some things driving that I find stressful.
that told me everything I
let
used
Jacob
to know.
talk. What are you saying?
Yeah, you do some things driving that I find a little bit stressful.
Like
But,
what?
Like that time when we almost crashed into a car twice.
Yeah, but a car
you
jumped
just
in
told
front
us
of me
about?
and slammed on his brakes, and then
Wait,
I
let him
had
talk.
to
Let
slam
him
my
talk.
brakes.
Let him talk.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Well, I guess what it was is the first time he slammed on his brakes, but then you like sped up again, and then you slammed on your brakes immediately.
That's the thing. I
afterwards.
was not speeding up. I'm gonna explain this again. When you're driving at like 60 miles an hour, when you hit the brakes, your car never stops accelerating. So when you let off the brake, the car starts accelerating again. So I tap the brake, release the brake, and tap the brake again. So a car swerved in front of me. I hit my brakes. I did not slam on them. I hit them slowly enough so that I wouldn't hit the car in front of me, but I had to hit them suddenly. So I literally did everything right. A car swerved in front of me and I didn't hit the car. Like what do you think I should have done in this situation? I'm waiting.
All I want to say is
I'm waiting. And I'm asking more questions.
You asked Jacob a question, he answered, and now we enter the Bob interrogation.
Well, I'm intrigued with this because I have driven, like I drove us all the way into the woods of Michigan. I drove us
into the woods.
I drove us to and from Palm Springs without incidents. One car jumps in front of me, and then I do what I need to do so we don't hit it, and now I'm a bad driver.
Jacob.
Is that how the story goes? I'm waiting for you to answer. Right, you're on the podcast.
You're a very good driver. You're right.
Now I'm asking you, how does that make me? I'm seriously asking, how does that make me a bad driver?
I guess maybe you're not a bad driver. Driving with you is sometimes stressful
because of that car. What else made it stressful? We have one more person we can ask too. I don't know what he's doing though. What else is stressful about driving?
There was also that time when you wanted to drive, but you didn't have a driver's license. So but you were like, no, I don't want you to drive back. I want to drive. And
that's because Jacob is Jacob's a bad driver. Here's the thing. Jacob is a bad driver, and Jacob doesn't have good vision. And we were driving back at night. Jacob can barely see. Jacob,
you need glasses, and you were driving without your glasses. Don't talk to me. You need glasses.
Jacob, listen, y'all. Jacob,
that's right, Jacob. Yeah, Jacob. These glasses. Jacob had his glasses on. Jacob was doing all the right things, and now Bob trying to tell Jacob that he needed.
I wear glasses. I don't need them. I did not have glasses between the ages of 21 and 34, and I was living perfectly fine. I mean, I was really doing great without my glasses. Try to get Jacob to like pick me and Monet out without his glasses on. He'll be like,
all I'm saying is Jacob was following the rules. Jacob was doing everything he needed to do.
So Jacob
and you broke the rules.
Jacob does this thing where Jacob also overcorrects. Jacob gets very anxious on the road. So if a car is coming, like merging in, Jacob, instead of like slowly, he will like kind of jerk the steering wheel. And I'm like, oh my God, this. And then Jacob is also nervous. Jacob can't talk to people when he's driving. He can't do anything but like look directly at the road. And I'm like, he's anxious. I'm anxious. Does not feel good. And I was like, I would just rather drive because I don't want to die. I'd rather get arrested than die.
It sounds like Jacob is a very safe driver. He has his hands at 10 and 2. He's only looking at the road. Jacob sounds like a very safe driver.
Jacob, do you think you're a safe driver, Jacob?
I do. I think I'm a very safe driver.
Ciao.
Work.
Y'all, Monet, how about this? Drive Monet around when you get to LA. I bet you $1 Monet will be like, this is a hair scary. Do you think do you think I'll be a good driver, Monet?
I don't know. I've never been in the car with you driving. I need to have one experience with you driving to make an assessment.
Well, let's take a break. And I'm gonna ask Ezra what he thinks about my driving during this break. Mm-hmm. And we
all right.
are.
I got it. We're back, okay. And I need to know, Ezra, is Bob a good driver? And now listen, Ezra, do not feel pressure from Bob to give an answer that you don't want to give. Don't let Bob be the bully. Do you think Bob is a good driver?
I think he's almost too good. Because he's so slow, he drives like an old person. So that's what I think about that. Like I was raised by like a Mexican father who like goes really like way over the speed limit. So I like to drive fast. And like one time I was like going like through a yellow light that had changed literally when I was like in the middle of the intersection. It changed to yellow and he was like, "Whoa, what? Whoa!"
Sounds like Bob.
And I was like, "Okay." So yeah, I think he's a little too careful. There's nothing wrong with being too careful.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
Bob,
It's not
do you think Ezra's a
particularly
good
like
driver?
sexy.
Do I think Ezra's a good driver? Yeah, Ezra is a pretty good driver. Ezra has driven me all around the entire Los Angeles County, literally all the way to Beverly Hills to downtown, and Ezra drove to Palm Springs one time, and I am completely comfortable. I would fall asleep while Ezra is driving. He's a really safe driver.
You're just saying that
You-
'cause
you
he's so
said-
eager to drive you around.
No, he's a good driver. He drives, but it's not like Ezra's not driving freakishly fast.
No.
Is this door in the shot? Ezra's not driving like freakishly fast. He just drives faster than I do. So Ezra drives. Honestly, Ezra's driving is actually very similar to Monet's driving. To be honest,
I'm efficient.
Work.
and
Same.
he's pretty good at parallel parking.
Thank you.
Oh my God! Can you? I see. I love. So I like to be that bitch to flex in like the supermarket parking lot. Like I don't like go front into the driving spot. I would like bring my car around and back up into to like you have like a little finesse.
Yeah.
Someone
Are
told
you-
me that people who back their cars into parking spots are the same people who do Irish goodbyes at parties.
Oh my God, I am. Bob knows this. We would go to the club and we'll be hanging out, and then we'll all be dancing, living our lives, and everyone's like, "Where's Monet? What? Bitch, I am out. I have left. I've gone to Empanada, gotten my food to go, and then I will go home."
That's why I literally said this to Zach because Zach backs his car in every day, and I said, Zach, people who back their cars in are also the same people who do Irish goodbyes. And he was like, "Oh my God, that's." And if you don't know, an Irish goodbye is when you leave a party without saying goodbye to anyone. You just up and leave the party. And he was
Yes,
like, yeah,
because
I
it's
do
too
that.
much. When you at a party, then you have to tell everyone bye, and then if you miss someone, that person thinks that you don't like them or you're mad at them. Like, well, you didn't tell me bye. I'm like, bitch, I'm just leaving, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all again.
So do you have any driving infractions, Mo? Oh, you can go now.
No,
Irish goodbye.
All right, thank you. Do you have you don't have any? You don't have a ticket. You don't have any.
oh no,
you
no,
don't have
no.
a-
Yeah, so. Bob, I have some. I don't need you to point out all of my infractions. I got them. So I've never been in any accidents. I've literally never ever. My car has never hit another car. Now, when you have a car in New York City, you know this, bitch. You park your car on the street, you will come back. Your mirror will be hanging off. You have scratches all up and down your car. If you don't have a garage in New York, your car is going to be fucked up. Period. But in New York City, we have these things called bus lanes a lot. And then when I started driving, they had just started becoming popular. There was the one here and there, and they were becoming popular. And people would drive in the bus lanes to get out of traffic. And I used to always make it to work right on time, and that's because I would leave my house like with enough time to get there, and not all that shit. So I used to take the bus lanes, zooming by everyone to try to get to work on time. And bitch, one time I pulled up to my house and I got like this stack of tickets. I had like $7 bus lane infractions that I
They
never
just
paid.
been watching you.
And
They
it
just
ended up
been
being like,
watching you just letting you collect them up.
girl, and it was like $3,500 in bus lane violation tickets. It was crazy.
I got a parking ticket the other day.
Why?
Because me and Jacob were like driving around because we had this car. We're like, let's just drive around. Listen, we were listening. It's so gay. We're like listening to musicals and driving around, like being whatever. And then we parked, and I was like, oh my God, there's parking here. But when I went back in the morning, I saw that every car on this lane had a little thing in the window, like on the rearview mirror. And I was like, oh, this is permanent parking. It was an entire street on a public street, so I didn't realize it was permanent parking. So I had a ticket. It was like
LA has
$48.
that a lot, right? Like you can you can only park in like your zone.
Yeah, and that shocked the shit out of me. So I was like, well, I didn't know I couldn't park here.
So is it like a sticker on your license plate that tells you
It's like-
what zones you
you
can park in?
No, you have to, I think it's like, honestly, I don't know what it is. They all had a hook hanging from their rearview mirror, like a handicap thing.
Oh, the people had it in their cars, not the
Yeah.
parking enforcement. Got it.
And that was how every other car I had. I was like, oh my God, they all have this thing. I don't have it. Oh my God, I have a ticket. Got up there and it was like $58.
That's not bad. Well, you know what I used to go. Oh my God, do you remember having a car? God, having a car in New York. Remember when I used to be at your gigs with you, or we did a gig together like Monster or something, and then I would come back up to your house, and you and I would circle your area for literally maybe sometimes half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, looking for parking because parking in New York was so bad.
And then end up parking back down the West Village and taking the train up.
Because it will be it'll be faster than doing that, girl. Maybe New York should consider zone parking.
But here's my question. Like, are they gonna, it was a rental car. They don't know that was my car. Are they gonna find me and charge me for that ticket?
Yes, Bob. They would find out what date the ticket happened, and then by that point, it's probably gonna go over the amount of days. It's gonna be even more expensive, and they're gonna find you, bitch. You're not dumb.
We'll see.
Not about trying to cheat the system.
No, I'm gonna pay my ticket. I'm not trying to, but I don't have any move. So I did once have a moving violation as well. So when I was a young driver, I was probably
when I was a young warthog.
I was driving my friend's car. I was probably 19. I was driving my friend's car, and I pulled out of. So you know when you are in your car and there's like a turning lane, and then the right lane.
Wait, okay, say it again. When you're in your car, there's a lane.
I'm at the intersection. Right in front of me is a lane going to my right. And there's another lane with traffic going to my right. And there's a turning lane, and then right past that is a lane that goes left. So you have to cross over 3 lanes to go left. So this is something I learned, by the way. This is when I learned it in life. It is illegal to give up your right of way. You cannot give up the right of way. If you give up your right of way, you disrupt the flow of traffic and you can cause a wreck. And it happened to me.
Yes.
So I was sitting there waiting, and this lady stopped me. She was being nice. Like, come on, baby, come on. I was like, okay. She said, come on. I pull out. Well, everyone else in traffic had not agreed to that. So by the time I get to the second lane, I get T-boned. The back end of the car, and it wasn't even my car, I was driving my friend's car. The back side of my car gets T-boned, pushes me around, and then I almost hit the car over there. That's the thing, you cannot yield. If you go to the stop sign, go when it's your turn. You're not being nice when you're like, you go. No, you go. You're disrupting the flow of traffic, and you're making it hard for people to follow the flow.
You see, and that's why I'm grateful for learning to drive in New Jersey and New York, because, bitch, people in New York would never. They're like, bitch, you're going to wait. If you have to sit at that fucking thing and wait for an hour, that's your fault. You should have you should have came up Broadway instead.
But you would never wait an hour. If you go with the flow of traffic, you'll never wait an hour. That's the point of the flow of traffic. And when people give it their right, when people stop and let people go, I'm like, you're not helping. If you stop for a pedestrian to cross and the light is green, what you're doing is giving that person potential to get hit by a car that's not stopping because the light's not green. Right. Don't tell them to go. They can wait. Legally, they need to fucking wait. Do not give up. So anyway, I got a ticket for failure to yield after stopping at a stop sign, and I also got a ticket for driving a car with a suspended license. A suspended insurance. Driving a car with no insurance and failure to yield after stopping at a stop sign. But the officer wrote down the wrong code. So I went to court. I forgot about this. This was great. It was so crazy. I went to court and I was like, they were like, how are you going to pay for this? It was like $1,500. I was like, I'm just going to go to court with all of my bills. I'm going to show up with my school, my school bills and school loans and stuff. And I'm going to be like, I just don't have enough money. So let me go. By the way, I did not realize that's not how that works. That is absolutely, let me tell you right now, everyone listening, because I didn't know this, if you go to court for your tickets and you don't have the money on your person, they will arrest you. They will throw you. That's not true. Monet, everyone
maybe
listen to me.
In your state.
Y'all, I'm telling you right now, for your safety, do not listen to Monet. I am telling you right now.
Okay, in your state.
If you don't, I'm telling you, I don't care what state you're in, just take this advice. You cannot go to your car and get the money. If you, and I would say this, especially in the state of Georgia.
For a moving violation?
For any ticket, if you go to court to pay your ticket, I'm telling y'all listen to Monet and be looking dumb as hell in jail. Don't listen to this bitch. Take it from me.
It's obviously a state to state
Do
thing.
not listen to Monet. I'm telling you right now. If you do,
it's a state to state thing.
Monet dumbass gonna have you sitting up in jail looking dumb as hell. When you
because I used to get I've gotten like tickets from being on the phone. You know what I mean? Because before Bluetooth, I used to be on trying to talk like this on the phone, like driving. And I got like two tickets for that. And then when I got I was in a similar situation where my driver didn't write down the right thing. Something was wrong with it. Either like my name was spelled wrong, or he didn't write the right code or whatever. So then, bitch, you know me. I had like my court date to go see the judge because I was like, I'm not paying for it. And you cannot tell me I was not fucking Olivia Pope, okay? I printed out the statutes of the cell phone violation, what the right codes are, blah 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 blah. I dress up in like a blazer and like a shirt and like dress pants so I can impress the judge. And I get to the thing and I bring up all that stuff and I was right, but they were still like, no. But even though he wrote the wrong code, you still have to pay the thing. But I didn't have the money in that moment, and then I didn't get arrested. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's a state-to-state thing.
Well, those people were being nice to Monet on that day. So I went down to the court, and they were like, and also the officer did not show up. So they were like, well, he wrote down the wrong thing, and the officer's not here. So honestly, just go about your business. And I told the guy, I was like, this is my plan. So then my other friend went to court and to pay her ticket, and then she was sitting there, and then they gave her a whole thing, and she was like, all right, I'm just gonna run in my car and grab the money. And they were like, no, you're not. And she was like, yeah, I'm just going to run in my car and get the money. And they're like, ma'am, you're under arrest. And she was like, excuse me? And they were like, get your black ass over here because you are fully 100%. And she was in jail for 30 fucking days.
Okay, you see, that's some Georgia bullshit. Because also, Georgia is a fucked up state. Y'all, they over here passing new voter suppression rights. They arrested that representative for literally going to knock on the door because they were holding a closed meeting to change these laws. Georgia is fucked up. That's some weird Georgia shit. That's not like that's not a federal thing.
First of all, Georgia saved the nation from Trump. Let's just get that clear. Clayton County for life.
And now they're fucking it up again.
And let me just say this: Georgia has things to work on. But let me tell you right now, y'all. If I don't care what state you live in, when you go to court, have your method of payment on you. I don't know why Monet's like, leave the money. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I don't know the rules in every state, but I know this. You should have your money when you go into the courtroom. Do not run the risk of taking Monet's shitty advice and your ass ended up in jail because you like Monet said, and your defense is Monet said it on Sibling Rivalry.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying if it's like your court date and you don't have the money, and if going to court and trying to speak to the judge to get some leniency, if the stakes are doing that or getting a warrant issued for your arrest because you didn't show up to court and because you don't have the money, going is the better option as opposed to having a fucking warrant out for your arrest. You at your goddamn job.
No,
and the police
I'm not saying
like,
don't go. I'm saying
bitch,
go, but have your method of payment on you because in Georgia,
sometimes you don't have it. You can't afford it.
I know, and they will arrest you. There are famous
Georgia
cases on TV. You don't know where that's the law. You don't know where these motherfuckers are listening. You don't know where these people are listening to this podcast at. You telling folks it doesn't matter.
Find out the laws in your state.
Walk around without money. There are now, of course, there are things on TV where you see judges being like, you know what, I love you and I feel bad for you and blah, 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 blah. I would not rely on that. So what I'm saying is...
I wouldn't rely on that either.
So what I'm saying is no matter what state you are in, when you go to court, have your money on your method of payment on your person. It is the best option. Monet's like, whatever, do whatever.
That's not what I said. Some people cannot. Maybe the bill or the tickets are $235. You cannot afford to pay that right now. If you cannot afford to, if it's showing up to court as opposed to not and getting a warrant issued for arrest, getting a warrant issued for your arrest and just the police pulling up on you, trolling up on you wherever, that's not a great option either. So I would say look up the laws in your state and govern yourself accordingly.
I'm not advocating for not showing up to your court date. I'm saying no matter what, you have to show up to your court date. And when you get there, have your method of payment on you. If you don't have a method of payment, prepare to be arrested.
You don't have it.
Then prepare to be arrested.
But also look up, guys. Listen, look up the statutes in your state or your country or your town or your village. Don't go by what I'm saying. Look up the state, the rules in your town, and then govern yourself accordingly. Is what I'm saying, basically.
That don't sound like what you said. All you said was, that's not true.
No, you on some gaslighting bull.
That's not okay. First of all,
yes, you are. You like because you're saying. Not, do you know? Well, hold on. Let me finish. You're literally saying. You're literally saying Monet said, "Oh, just show up when you want. Don't come to court. You can just walk around the country." That's literally, you're gaslighting me.
Okay, here's my question: do you know what gaslighting is? Without looking it up, do you know what gaslighting is?
It's like using mental gymnastics and taking what I said and flipping it mentally to fuck with me and agitate me.
That's not gaslighting. You are overusing the word gas. That's not what gaslighting is. When you tell someone something that is intentionally not true to make them think they're crazy. That's what you just did. Is. So you know what gaslighting is like. So gaslighting is like telling someone that they lost a pair of shoes that you gave them, and you know they didn't lose the shoes, and then you find the shoes in your home, and the person keeps looking for the shoes over and over again, and then when they come to your house, you go, "Oh yeah, I had the shoes the whole time." That is actually gaslighting. You remember when you did that to me?
Gaslighting is also when you. I do remember when I did that, but gaslighting is also when I am telling people to look up the statutes in their state, and you're saying, "Oh, Monet said fuck the government. Monet said do whatever you want and get arrested," when that is not what I said. That is also gaslighting, baby.
So in that case, we can say you're gaslighting because I never said Monet said fuck the government. So now, are you gaslighting too now? Are you?
Bitch, this is the circle of gas situation. This is the circle of gas situation. You say gaslighting on this podcast. You know you say gaslighting on this podcast. Don't act brand new.
When you're gaslighting, I think there's a huge culture of people saying gaslighting when it's just not. What I was saying, I was engaging in hyperbole, but I was not.
No, Bob, you were gaslighting.
That's not what gaslighting is.
Yes, it was.
People are viciously overusing the word gaslighting. The gaslighting is about
you can say what you want.
The gaslighting is specifically trying to make someone think they're crazy.
I'm going to read it up. Manipulative by, this is gaslighting, manipulation by psychological means of questioning their own insanity. I was literally saying, I was offering solution for people so that warrants are not issued for the arrest, so that you're not at your fucking job or going somewhere and you are arrested because you didn't show up to court because according to Bob, because you don't have the money. So I was saying, hey, how about you should show up to court? Sorry. I said look up the statutes in your state, because sometimes that is not the only option. Just because you don't have the money is not a reason to not go to court. And then you're like, so yeah, y'all listen to Monet if you want to. Monet gonna have y'all arrested. Monet, like that, you were literally that's not what I said. You were manipulating. You were manipulating the situation to say I was saying. You were manipulating the situation to say I was saying something that I was not.
This is why what you're saying is false. First of all, I never once said don't go to court. You introduced the idea of not going to court. I said don't go to court without your money.
No, I did not.
Monet, Monet, I'm going to say it again. You were like, instead of not going to court, I never said don't go to court. I said don't go to court without your money. First thing. And then I said, y'all, if you go to court without your money, you can get arrested. You said, no, that's not true.
I said in the state of Georgia.
Are you gonna let me finish? Thank you.
Go ahead.
I said, you said, no, that's not true. And I said, I'm telling you, Monet, a friend of mine went to court, did not have the money, 100% got arrested. And you kept saying no. And then down the line later on, you said, don't dodge your court date. You should look up the laws in your area, which sure, yeah. And what I'm saying is, when you go to court, make sure you have a way to pay your ticket or you can be arrested.
And also, you're talking about this friend. Do you know her whole situation? Do you know if this bitch had warrants because she was doing whatever fucking fuck shit she was doing? You don't know her story. All you know is that know that it almost happened to me,
because when I went to court and I was like, because I showed the officer, I said I was going to get off today because I had all this stuff and all these things, and the officer looked at me and he said, "You would have been arrested today. You can't come to court and not pay your bills. If you do that, you would get arrested. I also was on the fucking Verrazano Bridge in New York City, the state where you say they don't do this. I drove across the Verrazano Bridge one way. And I didn't know I got stuck on the Verrazano Bridge. I didn't realize there was a toll, but I got stuck. I mean, you make the wrong turn, you're on the bridge, and now you have to pay the toll. I said, I didn't mean to turn here. So can you just, so he just gives me this thing that says pay this later. Okay, work. I drive into Staten Island, and then I immediately loop back because I didn't mean to go to Staten Island. I immediately loop back. Bitch, there's a toll both ways. I get to the guy and I say, oh, I don't have any money, but the last guy just gave me this. And then he said to me, I said, can you give me another one? He said, no, but what I can do is ask you to pull over here so I can arrest you. And I said, sorry, wait. I said, I'm sorry, wait. This is not in Georgia. This is in New York City.
Okay, but that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing as going to court.
Are you gonna let me finish? I said, oh my God.
I'm just saying that's not the same thing as going to court.
Okay, are you gonna let me finish though? Are you gonna let me finish? Work, great. Okay. So then I pulled my ass over, and in the midst of talking to this guy, he did let me go. He was like, okay, you're from Georgia. You're confused. You didn't mean to do this. He didn't know if I was just trying to like some scammer trying to like get through Arizona or sneak my way into Staten Island. I don't know who the fuck's going to sneak into Staten Island, but sneak my way into Staten Island to like get, a little this, that, here, there, and the other. But eventually he didn't let me go. But he would have legally been able to arrest me in that moment.
Because I'm sure like you, well, not like you, but I'm sure people do this all the time. People probably do this all the time in New York and pretend like, oh, I didn't know. Like, if you think you're one isolated incident, first of all, that toll is $15 when I was young. So, and I'm pretty sure it went up. So that toll is probably $17, maybe $20 now. So you don't think people do that shit literally hundreds of times a day?
But also, do you
There's
realize
probably
how
a
many
specific
people,
statute for that.
Also, a lot of people go into the courthouse and say, oh, I left my money in the car, and they just never come back. So, okay, so what?
Right. Well, all I'm saying is that I had that experience in New York City going to court for a violation, a moving violation is phone, talking on a cell phone while driving, and I did not have the money, and I was not arrested. And so we have two different experiences from two different states in America.
And all I'm saying is, when you go to handle your traffic violations, you should do your best to have your money on your person if you have it. Because if in some instances, and there is a chance that it can also happen to you in the state of New York, despite Monet saying that doesn't happen or that's not true. Those are your words. Your words were, that's not true. You can end up getting arrested. If that cop is having a bad day, doesn't like you, thinks you stank, don't like your attitude, if you fuck this cousin, you can get arrested that day. So have your money on you.
And there's also a possibility that in the state of Georgia that it will not happen to you also.
Yeah, it is a possibility. It is
like a possibility in New York City.
And there's a possibility that they might have cars that fly in 3 years. Yeah, it's a possibility, sure. But I err on the side of caution.
I agree. Possibility, sure. It sure is a possibility in New York. I'm sure it is. Yes, baby.
Well, that's different than what you said before. And on that note, thank you, everyone. Have a good fucking night.